Hi, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the Maker's Cave. And today we're going to continue with the Agora Models Lamborghini MIURA. This is going to be pack 4. We got the box right here. Parts are inside. We're going to spread them all out, bring you up, and we're going to start putting things together. All right, starting off pack 4 with stage 25. Yes, 25. We're going to be doing some suspension work. And when you take these out of the bags, they are marked right and left. So you want to make sure you don't mix these up. We're going to start off with this left one. And if you look at this piece, there's a little fake nut right here. It might be hard for you to see. We'll push this piece in. And it is a bit of a tight fit. There we go. That piece is all on there. All right, now that you pushed the internal support onto there, you want to bring back your frame. So you take your little wishbone here, they're calling it. You're going to put it in here. You're going to flip this over. And then in this hole, you're going to drive a type B screw. Now, before you put the screw in here, there's a lot of extra paint in here. I really had to open this hole up so the screw would fit. And this time it goes right through. So yeah, there's a lot of paint build up in there that you have to worry about. There's your suspension arm. Now that you have this wishbone on here, they want you to put these brackets on here, and they're going to go in here. And if you notice, there are diamond cuts. Now, according to the directions, this is the left, this is the right, because you can tell by the slant right here. Now, when I went to put these together, I discovered that the picture in the directions is reversed. This is actually the left. This is actually the right. So we're going to take the right and we're going to put it to the side. We're going to bring this in. There is a little diamond shape, and of course there's the diamond on here. First thing you're going to want to do is put this bracket on this wishbone, is what they're calling it. And you're going to attach this with a type A screw. And now for where this little slipped over here onto this wishbone, as they're calling it, you're going to use a type G screw. Now basically we're going to do the right wishbone. So you can take that right wishbone, this little bracket right here, like before, we're going to slip it onto there. I'm going to put this into here, flip it over, and that's going to get held in with a type B screw. And just like before, we're going to use another one of these parts, taking care of noting where the diamond shape is. Match it up with the diamond pattern. Type A goes into here. And then the type G, which is the real long screw, goes through the wishbone. Screw is in. Now we have 2 suspension parts right here. And that's it for this stage. Now we're going to move on to 26. Here's stage 26. Here's the parts. You're also going to need to go back to stage 24, and you're going to need to get one of those parts which they are calling, they're calling it a front support. It's going to look exactly like this. So you're going to take this part, flip it like this, and you're going to put this part right on here. That's going to get held in with a type G screw. Going to bring back this frame. Right in here is where this lower arm is going to go, right in here. That's going to get held in place with an A screw. Now the other end is going to slip right up into here, because it's a G screw that's going to hold this in here, so we want to make sure it's easy, the holes are aligned. So we're going to use our toothpick again to make sure everything's all lined up. We're going to take our G, which I've already loaded up with some rapid tap. There we go. Now that lower arm suspension is nice and movable. Now we're going to move on to the shock absorber. Now for the shock absorber, you've got this right down here, little clevis type slot that goes into here. The shock absorber has a silver end and a red end. You want the silver end to face up, and it's going to go through this bracket, and there's a little notch that it sits on, and the other side of it is, like we said before, is going to go right into there. Now up here, that's going to get held in with an A screw. Okay, so you're going to slip this between here. Now you're going to take the tie rod. Now this tie rod, one end has a larger hole than the other. So you want to take the large one and you're going to set it right onto here. You're going to set it right on there like that, and that's going to get held in there with an E screw. Now you don't want to make it too tight because you want this to be able to flex, I believe. So now we have a working shock absorber. Now, that's pretty cool. And that stage is complete. Let's move on to 27. Here's 27, which looks fairly familiar because I think we're just going to do a complete repeat of what we did on 26.
A few moments later.
Now we got 2 shock absorbers installed. And stage 27 is complete. Let's move on to 28. All right, stage 28 looks like we're going to be doing some more steering work. Here's the actually drivetrain. Okay, starting out with 28, we're actually going to bring back the engine. You're going to flip it upside down, position it like this. And then you're going to bring in the frame that we've been working on. And you want to take note of these posts right here. These 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to flip, put the frame right on here. And those posts are going to go correspond to these holes. Now this is the important part, is these 2 bottom ones take an A screw. These 2 holes up here take a B screw. Oh, and I should note, you really do want at this point use some kind of towel or something to protect the engine while you're doing all this. Alright, so that engine is now in the frame. Pretty cool. Okay, the next thing we're going to be doing is these drive shafts. If you notice, on this particular drive shaft, this post here is a little longer than the post over here. So that means this is the left one, left longer, right is shorter. Now you also have these pieces, and to know whether these are left or right, the left one has these 2 posts, and there's a curve right here, curved section. And the right section, again, here is the 2 posts, and the curve is over here, so they're faced this way. This is right, and this is left. So left, right, left, right. Okay, so they want us to turn the engine just like we have it here, and all the way back into here, in the gearbox, there's a D-shaped hole. So you want to take the left drive shaft, and you want to take the end with the longer post right, that is D-shaped, and they want you to slip it back into here. Drive shaft is in there. So we're going to turn the engine now this direction, and we are going to flip it up like here. So you're going to take this left bracket, it's going to go on here, and you're going to take your left plate right here. You're going to take the left plate and push it onto here. There's some pins that do secure it on there, so it'll hold it. Oh, let me get it. So it will hold it for you. So now that you've got that into place, you're going to use a screw to hold it in here. Now we're going to tip it around like this. And there's a hole right, oh, and still off screen, right off here that's going to go onto the drive shaft. Rotate the engine up, and right here in the upper support, you're going to use an F screw to hold that on there. There we go. All secure. Now that we did this side, we need to do this side. So we're going to take the longer of the 2, and we're going to fit it right here into the gearbox. There it is right in there. flip this like this. And here's this bar. Here's a retaining plate. We are going to do the same thing. Okay, so after you've got this top yoke on here onto the drive shaft right here, this gets held in by an F screw. And there you go. All done. And with that, this concludes stage 28. Here's the parts for stage 29. We're going to bring the engine back. If you tip it like this, you're going to see some holes in here, and that is where these exhausts are going to go. There you go. The exhausts are all in. They are just a press fit. Now that you have this stage in here, we're actually, the silencer doesn't get used in this stage, so we're going to put it aside. But there are, I guess in the future where the silencer does go, there are 3 holes right here. And much like, just like we did in the other one, what they want us to do is take a screw, specifically an A screw, and run it into each one of these holes and back them out, so they are all threaded real nice and easy for when we finally do attach something in there. So that's what we're going to do right now. Is I'll take an A screw, soak it real well with some rapid tap. All I'm going to do is just drive these screws in, back them out 3 times, and we'll cut to when I'm finished, because there's no need for you to watch me do that. Okay, so I ran a screw into each one of these holes, and I can't recommend enough how much you really shouldn't skip this step, because I had them, it's almost like I was tapping these holes right here. It would have been difficult if I was trying to attach a part and drive the screw in, so good pro tip. So that is the end. Now we're going to move on to stage 30, I guess? Yeah, let's call it stage 30. We're going to go into stage 30. Stage 30, we're going to be doing some more exhaust work. We're going to bring back the heavy and beautiful, massive engine. Flip it in this way so the shock absorbers are facing that way. We're going to tip this thing up, and here are the exhaust manifolds right here. When you put this in, the main pipe coming off of this manifold extension is going to go down here. The dipstick is going to go behind it. There's this manifold in place. Now we're going to do the same thing with this one. There you go, and it is in. So here you have the silencer plate, and they want you to take this exhaust pipe, orient it this way so this little nibbly bit is down here. And what they're saying is put one side through first, and put the other side through. And there we go. I'm going to put this over to here. I'm going to bring the engine back. And they want us to, once again, flip it over. So we're like this. And then bring this around. And if you notice right here, these are halved. Oh, where am I at? These are half the diameter of the pipe. And there's a hole in each one of these. And right here, there are 2 exhaust pipes that are also half mooned, and they have holes. So bet you they go right into there. There's also 3 holes right in here. Let me show you right here. Right here, down here, hidden by the pipe. They get type A screws, so we're going to lay this right here. I think the first one I'm going to put in is this top one right here, because it's the easiest. Now I'm not going to tighten this all the way, because I want some wiggle room to put the other ones in. Okay, so those 3 screws are in there. So now you want to take some type H screws and connect these 2 pipes together. So those 2 pipes are screwed in. And with that, this stage is done. Let's move on to 31. Parts for 31 are pretty simple. We're just going to be doing some muffler work. So we're going to need the engine. So you turn the engine upside down. So here's the pipes that we just did. And you're going to take one of your silencer halves. There's 2 silencer halves right here. And this fits onto this peg right here. So you're going to take the other half of the muffler. And it's the one with the little exhaust tip right here. And it's going to go right on top. Snaps right in. That's going to get held in by an A screw. So you're going to take the other half of this muffler, you're going to put this right here. And then you're going to take this the muffler pipe or exhaust pipe, and there's 2 half pipes right here that they get screwed onto. This one goes into here, and they get held in with type H screw. Now you have that in there. You're going to take, this fits in the little recess here. You're going to take the other half of this muffler. It's going to go right on here. And it's going to get held on with an A screw. There you go. 2 mufflers, or silencers, whatever you want to call them, with an exhaust pipe. And 31 is complete. We're going to move on to 32 now. All right, 32 is really simple. We just have a frame right here, and we got a filter support, and we have a fuel filter. We'll bring back the engine. And let's see which way. This way right here. So you take that upper frame and you mount it in here. After you have this frame in here, you want to look at these holes to make sure they are aligned with the holes underneath. We're going to use some type A screws to put them in. Okay, I found it easier to do the 2 into here first and then do the ones up top here. Okay, all 4 of the screws are in there. Next we're going to be working on the fuel pump. Make note of these 2 pins are at the top of the bracket. And you can see the open recess right here that faces that way. It's going to go into these 2 holes. There's the bracket right in there. It is a pressed fit. So now that you have that bracket on here, you're going to put this fuel pump on. And if you notice, there's 2 little pins right here. 2 little holes. Might be hard for you to see on the bracket. So it just fits right on here. There you go. Fuel filter's on. Or the fuel pump is on. Okay, now that you have the fuel filter in, you want to take this tubing that you had left over from the previous stage and you want to put it into here. Now it says you may have to trim it. Obviously we will, because it's going to fit onto the end of this fuel filter right here. So I am going to, what I'm going to do is, I want the fuel filter to be like this. So I think I'm going to trim it right about here. I trimmed it long in case I had to readjust. There we go. That looks a little bit better to me. A little bit more of a nice bend going into that fuel filter. And that brings us to the end of the stage for this. And now we're going to be going on to stage 33. Okay, stage 33, we're going to be doing some brake work. So we're going to start off, it's going to be really simple. You're going to take this part right here, and you're just going to squeeze this together until they mate. And there you go, there's one rotor. Now you're going to take your calipers here, and this is going to be the outer, where this is going to be the inner. I'm going to bring this back. Let me find the right side for us. Okay, this is it. You want this side. You can tell by the 2 bell housings right there. Right there are 2 lugs. So you're going to take your inner caliper and fit it right onto these posts right here. So now you're going to take your little disc we got right here, and you're going to put it right onto here. And as you, it's going to fit right into the recess of that inner caliper right there. So now you're going to take your outer caliper, but there's a hole here and a hole here for these two pins right here, and it's just going to fit right in there. There's what the caliper looks like all installed. And that's it for this stage. And I think that's it for this pack. All right, let's review. So we did a lot on here. We put up the frame on here. We did some wheel work. We did the disc brake. Let's see what else. Like I said, a lot of frame work. Some exhaust work back over here. We put the shock absorbers on. And I just went out and I just weighed this. This alone is 2.5 pounds. That's a lot. It's going to be a model of substantial weight when we're done. So next pack will be pack 5, and that should come out shortly. I'm glad you're still with me, hanging here, building this thing. This is really cool. I mean, the engine work and the detail on it is incredible. So I hope I helped you if you're building this along. But I'll put a link below, like I said before, to Agora and any of the other models they're doing, and to any of the tools that I'm using. And so I guess that is it. So until next time and the next build, I'm Steve. Thanks for stopping by the Maker's Cave. I'll see you then.